Deo Hundasan, Sweetgrass is Around Her, a poem by Sally M.K. Benedict. A woman was sitting on a rock. I could see her clearly even though she was far away. It was Deo Hundasan, my mother's aunt. She was a basket maker. When I was young, my mother told me that her name meant Sweetgrass is Around Her. I thought that it was a good name for a basket maker. She was in her 80s now. She was short like me and a bit stout. She knew the land well, and the plants, and the medicines, and the seasons. She knew how to talk to the Creator, and the thunderers, and the rainmakers, and to the skyholders. She had a bundle of sweetgrass at her side. It was long and green and shiny. Her big straw hat shaded her round face. It was very hot. She pulled her mid-calf length dress over her rubber boots. She brought her lunch in a paper bag, a canning jar of cold sun tea, fried bread, boiled meat, and some butter wrapped in tin foil. She placed them carefully on the rock. She reached into the bag and pulled out a can of soft drink. I thought it strange. She didn't drink soft drinks. Then she reached for her pocket knife. Basket makers always have a good knife. It was in the pocket of the full-length canvas apron that was always safety-pinned to her dress. She made 2 sandwiches and looked around. She saw me looking at her. Her eyes sparkled and she smiled a good smile, her high cheeks pushing, her eyes closed. She lifted up the soft drink and signaled me to come. After we ate, she stood up on the rock and looked out. She smelled the air. I knew that she could smell the land and know where the sweetgrass was. I never could. She pointed to very swampy land. Mosquitoes, I thought. My clothing wouldn't protect me well from them. We didn't talk much. I watched her a lot and mimicked her moves. I listened to her tell stories in Mohawk, but I didn't say much back. Mohawk with an English accent made her laugh, and she had no patience and no time to figure out my English. We would spend all day picking sweetgrass. Sometimes we would look for medicines. One time my mother asked her what she thought the spirit world would be like. Deo Hundasan said that she believed that there was sweetgrass everywhere and that everyone there made the most beautiful baskets. Her mother named her well.
My name is Florence Benedict. I'm a wolf clan from Akwesane. And there's stuff here about splint otnumna. Do you want to hear that? Splint otnumna, sweetgrass, unzelakum ohmte, thin splint ohigala, narrow splint for rims and baskets, ganonwa, wooden forms, ugumletsa. What else do you want to know? There was Mrs. Deer went to visit us, and she said, I'm going to Ottawa to the fair. She said, I would like to buy baskets from your grandmother. She said, do you make baskets, she said. I said, no, I don't make baskets, but I help my grandmother. And my grandmother said she can make baskets if I help her just a little bit, you know, she can. That I must have been more like, by that time, I must have been around 10 years old. So she started me on a 4-inch basket, rounded bottom. She said, weave only ganangwa, all the way up, and use ganangwa on the lid. And I started the lid myself because I was doing smaller baskets, you know. I was able to apply them, you know, put them together. And it took me a week to do the basket. I couldn't do the rim, so she did the rim. And I was good at drawing with watercolors. I had watercolors. My grandmother got me that. So I made a picture of a flower all around the basket. And on the lid, I had pink flowers on it. Didn't this woman come back? Mrs. Deer came back. She looked at it. She said, how much do you want for this? I said, 35 cents. That's the first basket I sold. And I made another one later. And she came back again, and she took that basket for the same price, 35 cents. Because those baskets were selling very cheaply at the in Hogansburg. They were selling it probably 10 cents. It was really low, very low.